Hey everyone, Chris here from Real Rideshare Stories. If you're new to the channel and you're looking for different things within the rideshare industry, whether it's news, tips and tricks for passengers and drivers, or what actually happens on real rideshare rides, start now by hitting the subscribe button and ring the bell for notifications. Also, make sure to check the links in the description below for other useful tips and information. Alright, so I am pretty excited for today's video because it is a brand new dash camera that came out just a couple weeks ago. This is the Vantrue N4, so it's the next version of the N2 Pro and just the newest version overall. This one is a little bit different than the Vantrue N2 or N2 Pro or a few other ones on the market, as well as like the Blue Sky C B2W. Instead of being a dual dash camera, this is actually a 3-channel dash camera, which not only records forward-facing and interior-facing, but also exterior in the rear of the car. So now you're going to have better coverage outside, just in case something happens like an accident. You'll be able to have that all there. Also, some crazy stuff could happen behind you and you're looking in your rear view mirror and thinking, what is that going on? So you could get some pretty fun footage for that. Also, if there's any event with a passenger or anything like that, you'll have a little bit more footage that you'll be able to record outside the car. So today what I'm going to show you guys is just a few of the specs of the N4, and then I'm also going to compare it to the N2 Pro and the N4 so you can kind of see a little bit of the differences from what they've changed and what they've improved upon. Alright, so as you see here, this is the Vantrue N4. It's a pretty cool unit, and like I said, being that it's a 3-channel, you're going to have a second unit because you can't put all 3 cameras into one same unit. So as you see, this is the main unit right here. So you're still going to have the screen, it's going to have the buttons on the top, and you're going to have your interior facing camera right here. It looks like they improved on the IR where the LEDs are for that. So hopefully you won't get that little halo effect. You probably see that in my videos when I have the dash cam videos because the LEDs are a little too far out over the lens itself. So that's the only design flaw of the N2 Pro. But hopefully they did fix that. And Vantrue, if you're watching this, if you want to send me one so I can do a real true review of it being used, link is in the description for my email, so you can send that my way. But let's get back into it. So then this is the third unit, so this will mount into the back of your vehicle, whether it be the back window, tailgate, whatever you might have. So that's going to be pretty good for you there. Yes, the price is a little bit higher, so I'll get right into that. It is $260, so it's a little bit higher than the B2W, which is $130 or half the price, and then the N2 Pro. It sits around $200 normal, but Amazon and different places have sales on it all the time. So sometimes you can get it as close to $130, $140, and anywhere in between. And you'll probably see those more on sale because of the new N4, but don't expect the N4 to be on sale anytime soon. I'll also leave a link in the description so you can click on that and check it out, as well as the other dash cams I do recommend if you are driving for rideshare or if you are just driving in general. It's really good to have, especially in the event of accident or anything like that. So let's break right down into some of the stats of it. Like I said, it is a 3-channel dash camera, so it offers forward-facing, interior-facing, and rear-facing. It has a 155-degree front-facing camera, 165 inside camera, and 160 rear camera. So keep those in mind when I do compare between the two, because the N2 Pro and the N4 are a little bit different in the angle views that they do have. So it has the CMOS sensor from Sony, the Starvis CMOS, which is a 1.4 aperture 6-glass lens, which probably don't know what that means, but it just means that it records very clear in low light and no light conditions. And then the IR facing in the occupant, so you can see anything that happens in the middle of the night. If you're in a rural area, in a city, wherever it is, you'll be able to see pretty good. has that parking mode, so if it has any motion detection, it will start recording. So if it notices anything that's going on around it, it'll start recording. So if anything happens, you'll be the first to know. And here's a little bit different. It has a heat resistant with a supercapacitor. So I know some people down in Florida had some issues with it overheating and some problems there. It looks like they took that into account and they changed what they have a little bit. So now it's a supercapacitor powered instead of lithium batteries. So there's no battery in it, it's a supercapacitor. So it's built to survive extreme weather conditions from 14 degrees to 158, ideal for hot weather areas like Arizona, Florida, Texas, or in extremely cold areas. So it also gives longer lifespan than a lithium ion battery dash cam. So here's what the camera looks like. So you can see it's a little bit different than the N2 Pro or the N2. They've changed the design just a little bit. And again, like I said, this is what it looks like for both the front unit and then the rear facing unit for the exterior rear. And this is pretty cool because the camera will record all in HD. If you're recording all three cameras at the same time, the forward facing is in 1440, so it's higher than HD. So if you ever have to zoom in a little bit, you'll still get that crisp, clear picture that's still technically in HD. But it's 1440. The interior camera is also 1080, and the rear camera will also be in 1080. And if you are just recording front facing only, it will be 1520. So it's actually going to be a little bit better in terms of the resolution. I'm sure a lot of people want to know what the resolution is, and yes, it is all in HD. And for recording with this camera, it'll take up to a 256 gigabyte SD card. So for those that are driving long periods, 8, 10, 12, 16 hours or so in a day, or between times when you want to pull the footage, if you are saving your footage, I suggest getting a little bit higher, either the 128 or 256. But remember, recording 3 videos simultaneously will fill up memory cards pretty quick. So again, that 128 or 256 would strongly be recommended. I would just say go with the 256. You'll get the most bang for your buck. Side by side is going to show you the differences between the N4 on the left and the N2 Pro on the right. There are a few minute differences between the two, but not too much when it comes down to it. So again, the main difference is the N4 is a 3-channel dash camera, while the N2 Pro is a 2-channel. So you're not going to get that rear exterior in this. Both of them have night vision, pretty clear. They kind of use the same 6-glass lens. The aperture is just going to be a little bit different in what they do, but they still record in HD. The N2 Pro, if you're using both cameras, will record in 1080 forward facing and rear facing. But with the N4, it will be 1440 forward facing, 1080, both interior and rear exterior when it comes to the resolution. And then right here is probably the biggest difference, they don't have it. I'll have to scroll up. Because I saw, okay, here it is. Yeah, so here it is. So this will show you that, I'll put it right here so you can see it. This is just the recording angles that you have. So as you see in the N2 Pro, the forward-facing camera has a 170-degree field of view, which gives you an extremely wide angle. So you're seeing 170 degrees, almost a clean 180, but obviously a few degrees less on each side. So it is a little bit different. The forward-facing camera on the N4 is 155 degrees, so you're losing about 7.5 degrees of field of view on each side. On the inside of the car, you're going from 140 degrees that you can see on the N2 Pro to 165 degrees. So you're going to be able to pick up a lot more what's going on inside your car, meaning what's happening also on the windows. So if you see footage from mine, which is again the N2 Pro, you can see some of the front windows and what's happening outside the vehicle that way. But having it 165 degrees on the N4, you're going to pick up a lot more things that are happening on your sides. So if something happens, like a passenger kicks your car or does something like that, you'll be able to pick it up right away and hopefully see that on camera as well with that nice wide angle on the interior of the camera. Then on the exterior rear, it's 160 degree field of view. So you're going to get just about the same field of view in the front and in the rear. And again, last thing to compare is always the price. So the N4 again is $260. The N2 Pro is $200 normally. And there's always usually some sort of sale going on. So at least in this one, you could save extra $20. If you apply this coupon here. So right now, when I'm recording this, it's actually, instead of being about $200, it's $180. And you can check on Amazon all the time if you wanted to get one. Either way, I do highly recommend getting a dash camera, and the links to these two dash cameras as well as two others that I recommend are in the description below. So you can check them out, you can compare them, see the differences and what works best for you. Either way, it's great to have a multi-camera angle dash camera, like a dual dash camera or even a 3-channel dash camera, which is all in one unit or all recording simultaneously together instead of having separate dash cameras trying to record, you know, maybe the front and the rear. This will at least be the same quality that you can depend on overall. So I do highly recommend at least getting one if you don't have one already. And yes, price point can be a sticking thing, but it always depends on what you're looking for. So if you are a driver for Uber, Lyft, or any other rideshare platform, highly recommended to have one if you do not already. If you're thinking about becoming a driver, I would get one because you're going to need it. It's always good to have just in case something does happen. It can clear your name for anything. And then also, if you are even a delivery driver for anything, whether it be Instacart and where you're delivering groceries, if you are, you know, delivering food or anything and a customer complains and says something, you can actually show that, you know, nothing really happened within that dash cam footage itself. So it's good to have. And also if you're driving, it's just very good to have because it can be a very good thing to have in the event of an accident or something that goes on around, that you'll be able to have that footage if you need it. Now, again, there are many dash cameras out there. The 4 in the description are the ones that I strongly recommend because they will do everything you need to as a rideshare driver. If you are just a regular driver who's not doing rideshare or even deliveries and you want to have a dash camera, you know, there's plenty of different ones out there that even are cheaper. Just read through all the specs and read some of the reviews and see what people are saying about it, just to make sure you make the best decision for what you want. And then drivers out there or delivery drivers, make sure you invest in a good quality one because this is your business and you are out there making money. So you want to make sure that you have a good one that will be reliable and will last. Now that's the end of today's video. Hope you guys got a lot of information about it. And if you want some other useful information and tips, make sure you check the description below and make sure to subscribe and ring the bell for notifications so you'll be notified every time a new video is uploaded. And as always, never drink and drive, always tip your drivers, and we'll see you next time.